Everything's out on the table. What does that mean?
It means that today, I'm not me. It's we.
Damn, it is
bars. Hold on.
Welcome to the Offspace podcast. It's your host with the motherfucking most, True Golfer.
And it's your favorite co-host, Ezgo Offer.
Yes, sir. Ski. And today we're bringing you live from the 955.
What? Isn't it the 678?
Yeah,
the
we're
404, the 770.
We're still in Atlanta, y'all. But this is an Atlanta Out podcast. This episode, shouts out to Gucci Mane. We're going to get to that in a second.
Not sponsored, but we love you.
Not sponsored. That's my nigga. Anyways, Ezgo, how's your past week, man?
My week's good, man. After, I guess, considerable changes, and again, as referenced on the last podcast episode, conversations with my sister and my mother, I decided
Conversations with mama.
Conversations with mama. I decided I'm going to be a different individual. So it's been a lot more relaxed. I saw my niggas having fun from the window, like that Squidward meme. And, I'm just watching from afar. But, I'm staying true to me. I'm tapping in and having fun. And I'm just doing, again, the things that I like to, just in a more quarantined manner. My nigga, I streamed. I regret it, but I streamed.
Tell this nigga he Goggins now. This nigga running.
I've been running every day, pretty much. I fuck up here and there, but I've been running every day for the most part, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been smashing my own thoughts of what I can do, pushing past my breaking points. I had a nice experience the other day when I was running, and I hate that we immediately get into these realms, but I was trying to break my PR for one of my runs I've been doing right now, and to just see what I could do to reach a goal. And obviously as I'm running, when you're doing anything at the hardest that you're doing it to try and get the best, it's going to be the most effort you've given, right? So it's always going to hurt regardless. It's never going to be something just easy if you're trying to go for the best. So part of the run, I'm thinking, damn, this shit really hurt. Everything's burning. My whole body's on fire. My joints hurt. My back hurts. My knees hurt. Everything's just yelling at me. Then I saw a dad and his kid, and they start waving at me and shit as I'm running. And I start thinking to myself, man, I want to be that guy that inspires kids to do shit, right? But how are you ever going to inspire kids to do shit if you can't even handle your own? So as I was running, I was like, I could give up right now, but I'm going to do it for the kids, so I'm not.
Bro, when I was back home, my mom and dad's in, same circle. By the way, that circle is no bitch. That shit is
a lot
hills.
A lot of hills.
But that's the shit that got me super right in high school when I was playing soccer. But dog, exactly what you're talking about used to be a lot of the motivation when I was out there on lap 2 or 3 sometimes. I'd be looking over and I'd see a young ass kid playing little basketball in his in his driveway, or I'd see parents with their kids hanging out, blah blah. And I'm like, bro, the last thing I'm gonna do right now is stop when he may have seen me go by the first time, he may have seen me go by whatever, and thought oh, okay, I see what this guy's doing. I'm gonna put in work one day. I'm gonna work hard. So it's definitely great motivation when you see other people when you're out running, because it's bro, it's time to go hard.
Regular people, whatever, it's always you might run by whatever and think, oh, I'm a stunt. I look good. I feel good.
You see a little shorty, you're gonna break your PR every time.
Come on now. But it's the motivation feels different from when I see a beautiful woman as opposed to when I see a kid. Because one's just oh, I'm gonna look good. The next is I'm gonna inspire you.
Oh, for sure.
And so I hope these kids take notice of something, whatever. Regardless, I'm feeling good and I'm fitting into these pants for the first time in years. So that feels good, man.
Yes, sir. Ski, my man's working. He's going hard. For me personally, my past week's been really good. Saw a lot of people that I really, really am always happy to see. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just same old shit for me. But moving right along to heat checks for the week. My heat check is definitely going to be Candy Lady off of the Burprint 3D as a big ode to and shout out to Gucci Mane himself. Because, you know what I'm saying?
Legendary versus this last Friday?
Yes, sir.
Friday, Saturday?
No, it was
Friday.
No, it was Thursday.
Thursday?
It was Thursday.
Yeah,
and it was the greatest versus battle that's ever happened. One of the greatest things to happen in my life for hip hop, which we'll get into once we talk about the whole experience. But that shit was magical, man. And anybody that knows me knows how long I've been and how big of a Gucci Mane fan I've been. Nigga really debated getting the ice cream cone put on me, but niggas talked me out of that one. Which is
honest to God, I wish I didn't, because I was just one of the that might have been one of those mistakes that just changes the rest of your life.
Nah, bro, I'm gonna still get an ice cream cone somewhere though. Probably my leg or some shit though. But anyways,
okay.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to Gucci. Candy Lady, because definitely if I buy her a bag, I'd love if she bought me a pistol. And so, as go ahead with your heat check for the week.
My heat check for this week actually comes from an individual who's on our TV screen right here for right now in the set. And
inspiration music.
It's from Meek Mill, man. Meek Mill and Lil Durk off of his 4-pack he just dropped, and it's called Pain Away. Listening to the song, it just felt like genuinely, again, it caught me. It caught a nigga like me. You could feel the energy. You could feel the emotion. You could feel the soul that was put into that song.
And you loving that song, though, actually makes me really happy because it means that what they were doing worked, like age-wise. You know what I'm saying? Because Meek is not a young artist by any means at any point. He's not old. He's like early 30s, like / late. No, he's very, very early 30s. But him hopping on like a vibe like that, you could tell it was probably for the younger community, I guess. And I love the fact that it connected because I still thought it was a great song. You know what I'm saying? But then hearing, like, when we had the discussion about the 4-pack, hearing that was your favorite song on it and that was my least favorite song on it, even though I respect, we've talked about and sang praises about Durk all year, so I don't even want to feel like I need to justify, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's got different moods with it. But I love that, like, truly love that.
Because it just feels like, well, I could talk on a million type of vibes and things that I like from, like, music and the different variations and things that they give. This bag itself, that just seems to be Meek's, which is the motivation music and shit, always seems to hit me a different way. I'm not gonna lie, on my runs listening to this, I can't lose.
Pain Away get you around that last corner?
Crazy. I can't lose listening to it, man. The only thing that took me out of my UK rap bag this week, so I'm happy for that. And yeah, that's my heat check. So
yes, sir, ski.
Let's go ahead and get into the music, though.
So getting into the music, I definitely want to just shout out some of the projects that came out this week. Not everything got its fair play and listen, but that's because I was definitely focused on a couple things. Not gonna lie to y'all, but I definitely want to at least run it down, and then we'll break down like the things that we do decide to break down from the ones that came out this week. But we already talked about the deluxe, you know, for Pluto and Baby Pluto with Future and Lil Uzi Vert. Shouts out to them. The Baby, My Brother's Keeper. That project I do want to talk about in a second, so I'm going to push that to the side. Meek Mill dropped the Quarantine Pack, the QP, and we had 4 outstanding songs on it. He had his intro by himself. He had a song with Vori on there. He had a song with Durk, and then he had a song with 42 Doug. Yeah. My favorite personally on that was the 42 Doug song. But like you were describing earlier, you said I seem to only like music that gets ass shaking right now.
It's just been a vibe for you for a long-standing minute, so I'm not the most surprised. And it's not a bad song by any means, so
you know how
it kind of made sense.
That's kind of how I've been trying to make my year look, but I mean, it is what it is. And so
I need flavors, man. I need flavors.
Let me not be disrespectful about the next project. But Rich the Kid and NBA Youngboy dropped a project. I'm personally probably not running to that one, but only because I listened to a couple songs off of it, and I don't want to act like everybody on the internet this week that was acting like Rich the Kid has never gave you music that you like, because Rich the Kid has dropped music that everybody's enjoyed. He's had
a minute. I could be fucking up on some things. Just off the top of my head, I can think of New Freezer. I was gonna say Plug Walk. Like, he was definitely in songs that people really fucked with. So.
But it's just like, I love NBA Youngboy, and personally, like, every song I listened to on that album, it sounded like if we cut Rich the Kid out and it was just an NBA Youngboy project, it'd be outstanding. Which I just personally don't think they vibe that much on music, but that is me. And so it's good sounding music. If you're looking for that, go run to it. But it personally was not for me. Gucci dropped the Trap God Classics. I Am My Only Competition to Legend. Anyways, right after the verses, Jeezy dropped Recession 2 right after the verses. We'll get into those when we get to verses. St. John, which is somebody I need to put everybody on game and on notice about. St. John's been dropping nothing but good music since his first, I think the first time people were listening to him was probably 2016, 2017. I didn't get into him until probably like 2018, late.
I think I heard him in like features, but that was pretty much the extent of it. So I'm kind of excited for this project specifically too.
Exactly. And now he's kind of in the forefront of music to where he can get big features and things of that nature. And the whole album sounded so solid. Like, I listened to it already. I know this is a vibe. This is definitely, if I want to give a good hint to the young listeners out there, like, if you ever feel like you miss the moments that women love in music,
like me and Party Next Door,
like, St. John is definitely going to be one of those, so hop on to that when you can. LVRN, which is the management or label don't want to misconstrue it, but want to say for like acts like Black and Summer Walker, the whole collective dropped with Dram as well, and like a few other artists as well. They dropped a Home for the Holidays project, which is actually pretty fucking good. I love when you could put your own little twist on holiday shit and it sound fire. Like, even though we make all these jokes about Chance post won't post a big day.
I'm not even making jokes on it, man. So I don't know what you're
like
talking
his
about.
project with Jeremiah was actually really good to me. I love like holiday, like it just.
Yeah, that came out before though.
No, I know, but I said now that we make jokes post
Yeah.
big day, but I don't know. Like, if you could put your own twist on holiday shit and it sound good, shouts out to you.
Makes sense. I know after the Summer Walker rendition of like All I Want for Christmas? I think so. After listening to that, I instantly knew that whole thing was going to be just a problem, at least for me myself, because I'm definitely the type of nigga that loves Christmas music. And I know it gets discouraged out there for all my people that like being happy and enjoy the holidays and the community and shit. A lot of people are like, you this shit again, man. How old are you?
Square ass niggas.
7 years old. It's like, fuck that, man. The holidays are going to be good till I die, so.
And then some singles, just to point out, that I think were at least worth noticing. Hit Boy put out a single with Big Sean and 5Yo called Salute. Yeah. And Chief Keef had a single called Status with Michael Made It. Lil TJ had one. Key Glock.
Sheck West. NBA draft declared.
I know, that shit was crazy.
Drop his.
Do you think he's
balling though?
Do you think he's really 6'2" with a 7-foot wingspan?
I don't doubt it.
Cause that shit crazy.
Dog,
nigga said he signed overseas. He announced that he's gonna go play overseas professional.
That's pretty cool, and I bet that'd be so dope. He was in those Rico High Run. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be the most bro. I'm 6'1" with like a 6'10" wingspan. Like, it's not the craziest thing, to be honest.
Bro, you have a 6'7" wingspan.
I got like a 7'3" wingspan.
Because we have the same wingspan, you're just shorter than me, so it's better for you.
Nah,
we measured it.
Nah, we got to do it again.
This nigga just said a 6'10" wingspan. I had to look over there like, nigga, are we lying? There's no hoes in here, bro.
On everything, I don't remember going like that. So we'll come back to y'all in another episode. But I don't remember that.
This nigga said he's Anthony Davis. Anyways, and then Jazz Cartier, another artist that we've been talking about, been singing praises about, dropped a single called Basement. But that's all I thought I'd mention with music. So let's get back to the projects we actually want to dive into.
I didn't really need to dive into much. I just feel like it's important, to start it off with a great, again, music experience that we went through. And I know meant a lot to us for different reasons. You being a big Gucci fan, but also both of us are just growing up like in the Metro Atlanta area and just being a part of the culture to where we could see these artists on a platform in 2020 where you're seeing the numbers, you're seeing the reception, you're seeing these things brought from the verses like battles, and seeing them attract crowds of at 1.8 million people actually watching on just the IG, knowing that a lot of people are watching on other streams and shit. Like, we were watching through YouTube, like.
And I'll break down some of those numbers because I actually looked into it and it's actually a little bit crazier than we even anticipated. But I did want to get to these. I did want to get to these projects first before we do like deep dives on the verses, because that is one of the bigger points for sure. But I wanted to go ahead and give once again a condolences, prayers to, and all that to the baby, like real love about the fact that his older brother did commit suicide recently. And I know that is like trigger warning for the people that, that does bring up like those low feelings, but it's something I thought was important to point out because a lot of people like to talk about the fact that all he does is make the same music, same flow, same this, same that. A lot of y'all that are saying that before pressing play, because most people like to hop on whatever Twitter talks about with music, go press play on his newest project, because that man is dipping into emotions and like deep feelings that we have not heard from him in a little second. You know what I'm saying? And even then, like, I really just care about his well-being and hope his mental health is straight, because I couldn't imagine losing a sibling truly, especially like in a family that's close. And the baby ended up losing his father and his older brother in 1 year. One song he was talking about how that was the person he looked up to his whole life, the person he wanted to be like, the person he wishes he was there for. He was talking about the fact that he was being the celebrity he needed to be and out trying to convince people to vote and like be in the polls, and the only thing he wanted to do in his life is be next to his brother and make sure that he was safe and make sure that he was, stayed down and he was good. Like, there was so much emotion he tapped into that I thought we needed to bring up, because never a situation that I even want to dream about how I would act in that situation. So once again, prayers out to Lil Baby there. We talked about Meek Mill's, the Baby there. Sorry about that, but we talked about Meek Mill's QP, and then the last project that I wanted to dive into a little bit, just to give her really her praises, is Megan Thee Stallion's Good News. Like, I heard a lot of like hit or misses from people in regards to this album this week, but most of the people that were giving it like the deepest critiques were males, and that shit bothered me just for the sheer fact that sometimes you have to read the room in communities like when music is dropped, because Meg dropped that album and nothing I've seen from women has been any less than positive. You know what I'm saying? And you see the audiences and you see like she's gone mainstream, and she's very mainstream. I don't want to act like she's not. She's one of the biggest artists in the world. But you see exactly who her music is for with the effects that it has. And so the fact that women were loving it, and then it was crusty niggas coming online talking about how mid it was, bro. Like, twerk music, unless you are somebody that enjoys twerking, we're not sitting here judging you or whatever. Leave it for the people that it's for.
I just feel like there's too much stuff right now in the sense of it's too much opinion and like decisions, I guess, about like what needs to be shared on like reception for when new albums are dropped. That's just solely based on the person and what their image is at the time, what's going on social media, blah blah blah, and not the actual music. Because to be honest, I didn't see anything that talked about like if the, like what she dropped was good or bad. It just, everything I see is about her or what she's doing, what she's not doing, and things like that. Or like, can't believe you're dropping music. Like, it's some bullshit around that. I just want more opinion on like the actual music, if people are gonna even say shit, because I'm not looking to see 20 tweets on my timeline about Meg and none of them be about what she dropped when she dropped music. Because I'm like, what the fuck are we here for? You know what I'm saying? You don't know her, I don't know her. Like, obviously, if she does some cool shit like that, we can appreciate, that's fine. But besides that, man, like, so let's keep it to the music. None of us know these niggas personally. Stop rating them on like the shit that you know what I mean?
All I want to see, bro, like really how I'm gonna judge the album is when I go out and body yaddy 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 starts coming on. The way that I picture the gyrating movements of hips, thighs, and ass in the club at that moment, if it looks exactly how I'm viewing it, like what I'm envisioning, that was a smash hit. You know, like the album's out of here. Like, fuck everything these niggas are talking about. Like, I just want to see where it is in the environment that it's supposed to be in. So once again, shouts out to Meg Thee Stallion. Yeah. I hope she's doing well, since I know it's hard being... I couldn't imagine, because I've never been put in that position, but just from pure empathy and being able to look out for other human beings, like knowing that she's a person of, like a high person of interest on these music labels, you know what I'm saying? So you see like the Baby, like we were just talking about, regardless of what's going on in your life, you are a cash cow. Yeah. So it's like, go make me my money, go record that album, go do this appearance, go do that.
I just want to know what kind of her...
And she lost her mom, grandma, she was a part of a shooting in this last year.
I just want to know what her deals look like though, because she puts out so much music. Is that just like what she wants to be doing, or like is that what the label is asking of her? Because we don't have the details on her deal, like, and for how many albums she has to drop in a certain amount of time. But she drops so much fucking work that at this point, I don't know if it's all because of the label or just on her front. So that'd be interesting to see. And not everything she drops is going to be considered an album. And I know
because this is supposed to be the
albums,
debut
mixtapes, blah blah blah.
Even though we've seen like 2 tapes already, but this is
the debut album.
Niggas are saying that
her last 2 are the debut
Niggas
album.
are saying that she's the new Davies, bro. This nigga like 10 years in hip hop, and now and every year he has a new debut.
Bro, because every time they drop, they say it's a debut album. I'm tired of hearing it's the debut. Just know they gave us a record. All right, let's enjoy it for what it is.
I just hope Meg's all right, to be honest. And as long as she's happy, who could give a fuck about what these niggas got to say about her 18?
If I don't like it, I'm not gonna listen.
You feel me? Like
that's what it is.
It isn't for me if you don't like it, you know. But the people I see it's for, bro. I answered a FaceTime call this week, and all I heard in the background was body yaddy yaddy yaddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if these people are enjoying it like that, let them enjoy this shit. But moving right along to the Gucci and Jeezy, like you were talking about, historic moment for Atlanta. I mean, shit, we watched it in the comfort, bro. I set up the vibe for my young nigga. You know what I'm saying? Bro, what kind of wings was we eating?
Oh my goodness.
Hot lemon pepper?
We were eating the most dry ass, lame ass wings I ever had in my life, bro. It was crazy. This man really served me it up with some celery. Oh God, Chuk, I thought you'd do better than that.
All right, y'all. My name is Chuka.
My name is Jose. really got set up with the hot lemon pepper wings, which is super nice of a vibe, especially when you're listening to some Atlanta legends.
Atlanta legends for real, man. And like this is a little backstory just for the people who don't know, and we're people that grew up in the state, so I mean like it's hard pressed for you to get far out in the city. Gucci and Jeezy have
grew up all around the Metro Atlanta area,
Exactly.
like Fayette, Coweta,
and so like Gucci and Jeezy have had not even, you can't call it tension, like they've had problems, like for real, like it's up and it's stuck issues for the last 15 years. And this is something that like people talk about, some of the like the Goliaths being too busy for a verses, like like we're never seeing Hove on that stage, we're never seeing Drake on that stage.
I don't think that's necessarily true,
like
but
that. No, I'm just saying like what
Yeah,
people
yeah,
say
yeah.
with it.
I know, I'm just saying.
Like Gucci and Jeezy is one on everything. I would never have imagined I was going to see them on the same stage together. Ever. Being this big of a Gucci fan, just paying attention to all of this, just all this Atlanta stuff. I never thought that was going to be beef that was like even like somewhat settled. But for the fact that I don't even want to go into like a track by track breakdown, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that really, as corny as it sounds, the world won, Atlanta won, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it doesn't matter how people view it. I'm biased, so I know exactly what I've tweeted and what I've posted on my story and all that, with the scores being like a 14-6, like 15-5, like 7, like 13-7, like all that. Gucci, I mean that shit. Like, so I truly believe that, but I mean, I don't think the technicals get into it. Like, what were some of the moments that really like made you?
I feel like obviously there was the biggest moment after this man spits the iconic lines talking about Jeezy's partner.
This
You know
nigga
what
played
I'm
the
saying?
truth.
And so
You recorded, bro.
it's not the fact of that he performed it, because it was nice, because I called it too even before they got out there. I was like, it feels like for what they got going on right now, it'd be dope if they started performing like these verses. And then they started performing it, and that was fire. But it's not just the fact that he performed this, it was the fact that right after he talked about it and let him know if he ever said some more, he's gonna send them right back to him. And it was just the most, I'm not gonna say awkward pause, because it wasn't awkward. It was just a pause of with so much tension in every room, from like
Bro.
past where the verse is being filmed, in the room that we're in.
Nigga,
You could
it
just
was
feel
just
it.
us two in here.
You could
It
feel
was
it.
just us two in here, bro. I was sitting on the floor with my mouth agape. Like I couldn't believe what I was watching on that TV screen, because this nigga Gucci said we are smoking Pookie Pack. Right? Literally saying we're smoking your dead homie. He said, dig your partner up, nigga. Bet he can't say shit. Looking this nigga in the eyes. Made sure that was the line he said. And then after the song, made sure to say, and send 1, 2, 3 more of them niggas. I promise I'm going to send them back to you in a box. About this man's dead homie.
And it's crazy though, because like Jeezy handled that in probably the best way he possibly could. If you act out, if you
Which
get,
they obviously
yeah.
had a conversation beforehand. Like you could tell.
Well,
like,
you know
Gucci
they had a
referenced it.
conversation, but they still didn't know what was gonna happen.
Like
and like,
that.
to be honest, he could have definitely got like pissed and outright acting a fool, but that would have just made him look bad. It would have been bad for the album roll. It would have been bad for all these things. And even like looking all the Van shit aside, he probably could have just like really just bossed up and just been serious in that moment, like he seemed like he was, and just said, "Look, man, like we both have been in this. We've been through this. There's no reason to keep this shit going." And extended an olive branch and tried to just dead the beef and dead the shit, man. And it ended so like
90.
and then
Bro.
instantly rolling into the next song, I was like, "Oh, this man really."
Think about how tense you have to be, bro.
Really came
You've
back
been in
with it.
tense situations, right?
No, not a day.
Not
in my
like
life.
that. Not like that.
No, I'm kidding. No,
Okay.
I've been in tense situations.
But like
my
you've been in
nigga.
tense situations, you've been in this, you've been in that, bro.
Yeah.
If you saw a nigga stand up for 90 minutes straight when he has a throne behind him that he could clearly sit down and rest himself, how do you think that nigga feels right now? Because I know that nigga Gucci was on edge the whole time. Like, and to be fair, if I was in the room with somebody that like, there's not, I don't even want to use words like alleged, but somebody that had somebody, you know, come try to steal my chain or however the story was supposed to go, right? I don't know. Like, I don't know. To be fair, like, I would probably be as tense as he was, too. Like, this nigga was looking around.
Bro, to be honest, I can't even
He
imagine what
played
I feel
3
like,
diss songs to
because
his face.
I don't
3 or
know if
4.
I'd let myself be in that room after like things I've been through personally, knowing how weird shit can get. It's just like reading red flags, and my nigga, that's a red flag.
But
It screams it.
The biggest moment of growth, though, I've ever seen was, like, yeah, it got awkward for a second. Yeah, Gucci looked him up and down, and Jeezy, like, you could see them, like, barking, like, for a second. And it seemed like, oh, this can get bad. Like, I was like, oh, this is the moment, like, where the fucking screen cuts, and then where the verses is over, like, blah, blah. And then Gucci said that you did extend the olive branch, and I accept it. And so it shows that, A, Gucci made sure to play those disses, made sure to say all these things to his face, made sure to make all his things very known, but while showing growth and saying he does accept the olive branch, but don't get it fucked up. And we've seen people do it in history as well, because y'all don't have to be best friends. Y'all don't have to be up there taking all the photo ops and all this kind of shit. But we are in an extended time, like I know like Jeezy had his speech and said, but it's like we've seen so many people die. You know what I'm saying? We've seen so many people die, and they're grown now. It's like, let's do this for hip hop and let's keep it moving. So I do want to commend Jeezy first and foremost, even though I know I talk about me being Team Gucci and all of this stuff. I want to commend Jeezy for even extending the olive branch and making that call and trying to get this started. Because be real, and it's not shade or anything like that, because nigga almost died. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm Gucci, I'm never making that call. You know what I'm saying? So Jeezy, the fact that he was the one that decided to be the bigger person in that situation and make the call in the first place, we have to commend that. But how did you feel?
I was gonna say, like, another moment that for me was kind of standout was off the rip. Them both coming out and trying to talk, and Jeezy starts saying some shit, and Gucci's like, hold up for a second, this is the Gucci show, be quiet. Like, and starts just talking. I'm like, bro, you're already disrespecting this man. It's crazy.
Off rip, and then played round one.
And like, I don't know where the gall this man has, but it was crazy.
Like, a lot of niggas pop they shit and talk gangster shit and like do whatever they want. Like, we have to talk about the real fact that this man Gucci has made it known many a times. We've seen it plenty of times that he is different from these niggas. Like, he's not a talk about it, he is an about it person with these situations. And I think that comes from how Gucci got his fame. Because Jeezy, like, had the world in a chokehold for a second. You know what I'm saying? Like, during the, like, put-ons and, like, My President is Black and, like, that big era, like, etc. Cool. But Gucci, like, he was, like, the major label, like, mainstream had the world in a chokehold. Gucci's always controlled the streets. And Gucci made all of that money, did all of he's done on his own 10, you know, standing on his own. Like, performed with all the big names, like, has songs with Drake, Mariah Carey. Like, we can keep going on and on. Like, big name, he's done it. You know what I'm saying? But he's always done it on his own 10. So you know what kind of person you have to be to, like, really stand on your own and stand on what you say at all times type of dude. And so we give them both their respects in both ways. But how did you feel as somebody in Atlanta and just around Atlanta, knowing this beef, knowing what really went on and, like, what's been going on in the streets with these niggas, and then seeing them end the show performing so icy together?
It was just like the perfect ending. It felt like a fairy tale.
I could have cried. I'm not gonna lie.
It felt like I'm watching a Lifetime movie or something. Right? Everything ends up
the
like
happily ever after shit.
I'm like, what is this?
And then them sharing the fucking section at Compound, like all their niggas behind them, just still out after. Even though Atlanta is crazy, bro. The amount of niggas y'all got into Compound that night, and don't get me wrong, I know it was a historical night. So knowing my ass and how much I care about it, like, and how proud I am of them niggas. If I had an invite to Compound that night, bro, I probably would have been in there too, which is crazy. With like the 3,000 niggas that was in one
crazier things happen. This is one city that never shut down. past that initial shutdown, it never was. So I'm not the most surprised. I'm just happy though that we got that moment and everything, and hopefully it keeps going and we see other names, like, because these are big names that came up with big beef to come up against each other. Hopefully we see others step into that versus realm, especially as you start to see the numbers and shit behind it of the viewership that it gets, because it's going to help artists not only keep their name relevant but make their name more relevant. So
I want to tell you some things about the numbers too. One, I want to just say, I know I'm going to be that old man that's telling my kids about this moment, because this shit really was like Christmas for me. I was so stoked for it. I'm going to be telling my kids about this moment, and they're not going to care, but I'm going to love it, and I'm still going to tell them. I'm going to tell my grandkids.
I'm so sorry y'all for yawning like shit.
But numbers wise, bro, did you know that they calculated it? There was over 10 million viewers for this versus.
I'm not surprised.
Like, it was over 1 point something million just on YouTube for random ass streams. It was over 1.8 million at a point on Instagram at once, but in total 5.5 million unique viewers on Instagram, and then independent streams and all that. Apple Music was 1 point something million. Like, this was easily the biggest versus and one of the biggest viewing experiences of this year, period. And that was Gucci Mane versus Jeezy. Like, that shit was crazy.
I'm not the most surprised, man, and I'm kind of happy to see it, because you know how it kind of shows certain artists too, especially ones that are like catering towards people who are now 30s to 35 to 40 type, you know what I mean? Like, artists that make music for that generation, that there's still a big realm for y'all, because I'd be hard pressed not to believe that a lot of the viewership for this versus was a little bit older niggas, right?
For sure.
So, and just showing like they still actively care about me. It's not like you turn 30 and you stop listening to music.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not what it is. It's just knowing that there is a base for you and you can still put it out there because you're just seeing the numbers a little bit more easy, you know.
Like,
so,
once people saw the hundreds
easier.
and hundreds of thousands of people that were in the Babyface battle, and people were telling me, like, really their aunties and uncles, like 40, 50-year-olds, were hooking up, like, calling them to learn how to hook their phones up to the TV so they could watch a versus battle. Showing me, like, bro, there's always a market as long as you're ready to always go over your people.
So it's dope.
But definitely, like, happy we were able to dive into that one a little bit. But moving right along, we have a ton of sports stuff, so we'll get onto that like a little bit later. Of course, I wanted to first bring up the fact that Trump's son did get...
I don't give a fuck. Know why? Because I'm sorry, I just gotta go.
We can't show love for everybody.
Rip. Not saying we can't show love. Like, he's gonna be fine, bro. This nigga is the son of the president. This isn't some like 1940s shit, and this nigga FDR got polio or something. Oh wow, something could happen to the president. No, this nigga gonna be fine. We saw Donald Trump at his old ass age getting the crazy treatments, bro. They're keeping the prime treatments for him, and you think his son's not going to be good, bro? I'm not shedding a tear or wasting my energy thinking about Donald Trump Jr. No offense, like, I hope he's well, but it's not even I hope, he's going to be well. He's going to be fine. Like, I don't even like that man, and I pray he's well. I don't, because he's going to be. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. There's niggas dying, bro.
This nigga's dying, motherfucking double entendre,
bro. There's so many people that like Donald Trump Jr. got COVID who don't give a fuck about COVID ever, and are just like, now I hope that he's all right. Our leader's son. It's like, bro, there's homeless niggas outside your house dying, bro. Care about them. Like, care about some people that actually you need to fucking care about, man.
So fuck Trump. All right. So anyways, moving on to the important part of this podcast. Before we get into most of our sports stuff, because once again, it's a ton of sports stuff. So sorry, niggas that don't care about it. But this part of the podcast, I think it was very important because we're not going to be able to record another one until after Thanksgiving. I need you to give me your top 3 worst Thanksgiving food items.
Definitely got to be anything with cranberry in it, because especially out the can shit, I don't feel like that should ever be there. Niggas got to
stop. Who made that a staple? Who made taking something out of a can as a staple for your Thanksgiving?
I don't want to say it, but y'all know. Clearly. I think there's a vegetable in there that shouldn't be there either. That
sweet potatoes got to be up there.
Sweet potatoes definitely are up there, because sweet potato pie is good, but
sweet potato pies
by themselves, you didn't.
Come on now, you know what I'm saying? Like, low key, turkey is one that is either in some of the best or worst. It's kind of like a no in between.
Turkey's too difficult, bro.
Because sometimes turkey just be so mid because of the fact that it's hard to cook super juicy, you know? And, like, I feel like...
It takes a good chef for turkey, man.
I think, like, mom's got it down pat now. But, I mean, like, I do remember the years when... Because, obviously, bro, we're Nigerian, bro. I don't think they're cooking the whole turkey in Thanksgiving over in Nigeria. Like, they got a very different looking Thanksgiving. So then mom...
Bro, we're American. They don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Nigeria.
You right, though.
You know think about it. It's an American holiday. No one does that. So then my mom come over here. She had an adjustment period. We have to be real. Like, everything else was crazy. But I remember the young days, like, when we would talk about the turkey, niggas would be like, dry-ass turkey.
Turkey again?
Dry-ass turkey. Just like, this shit's ass, mom. But it's all right because there was plenty of good ham, ribs, and, like, mac and cheese. Everything else was nice.
Stupid. Mac and cheese. I think mom, honestly... Like, if there was an Iron Chef right now, but strictly for mac and cheese, I would enter mom in it. I think mom's definitely, like, gotten a mac and cheese recipe at this point down to a point of niggas not fucking with her. Unfuckwittable.
It's just like, it's time tested. I'm not going to lie. It started off the gate nice, but when you were nice with something and then you've been doing it for, like, decades, you know what I mean? That's different.
You know what I'm saying? That's consistency. Consistent. It's like Braun. Is mom Braun?
I've never seen her ease up, so I think so.
Mom might be Braun for real. She really might have the good HGH plug for going crazy in that kitchen.
We're giving my mom the Braun Award of chefs, man. She's out here really cooking.
But then just like...
I think also, too, we need to go ahead and replace turkey with just like a smaller duck.
I'm going to be real
with you. I really want to do the turducken, though.
If you did, not even just that, bro, because I think you're onto something. Duck is my favorite poultry. So really, like, I think just having a whole duck or two, depending on how big your family is, would definitely go so much crazier than ever having turkey at Thanksgiving.
We have a duck back ready. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we have a duck ready.
It might get. Hold on, it got hot in here for a second. Sorry, but anyway. So no type of sweet potatoes though, like unless it's sweet potato pie.
Did you see best Thanksgiving foods by region or something, but like states? So I saw the map, and I think it was somewhere like the Midwest. Their favorite Thanksgiving item. What would you think it would be?
Don't.
What would you think? Like, out of all the good things that could be served, what would you assume the Midwest was?
Niggas in the Midwest are weird, so their favorite shit probably is stuffing.
Bro, their favorite shit was the rolls. And so
there's all that protein, all those good carbs, like all of the bullshit that we try to ignore, most of the year, just so we could stay in shape, stay looking good. And y'all saw the rolls?
I'm just convinced. I'm trying to think about it from their minds.
Bro, I feel like niggas be lying on those maps.
On everything. First off, I just saw one map that had to be a lie because I saw a fast food chain apparently was the most popular, third most popular one across the country that niggas no one ever heard of. So it was like they're the ones who made the survey and they're trying to put it out there.
They put it third because they thought niggas wouldn't go all the way down to number 3 and question it.
Yeah, so, but I think about it. Midwest, they got the good wheat out there. They're using it. They're good processing. They're good mills, whatever, and they're making their fresh bread baked and shit. It might honestly have a case to why it might be one of the best items for them.
You think they probably just have better bread?
I think they just make it fresh and make it better.
You know what?
And we just buy it from the store.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. I've had plenty of good bread in my life, and there's not one situation where the bread was good enough that I would replace mac and cheese.
Oh, never. But I don't think they make mac and cheese as good as we do here.
Oh, because we're in the South.
But they make better bread.
I got you.
So
and them niggas eat chili spaghetti as a real entree on purpose.
I'm not trying to disrespect
that's popular in certain
Midwest,
states.
but we're just gonna leave that one up to the people.
But speaking of Thanksgiving, though, what are some of your favorite things about Thanksgiving as well?
Man, I'm a holidays guy, so genuinely speaking, it's just
like a holidays guy.
Nice to have family around. It's nice to show that love and that camaraderie with the people that you care most about. And it's like, even if you're spending it with your family and like significant others, whatever, this, that, and the third, you're always extending love to friends and stuff that you might not be around too. So there's just certain people I know. It's always nice too that on Thanksgiving I'll have a conversation with. We'll hit up text a little bit or whatever, just like close ones to let them know like I love y'all. And it's like Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, it's all these days around, especially like since you're back home. So at least in my case, so a lot of people in that area being back home too, it's nice being able to extend and give that love out and shouts out to. So
hey, I mean, as cheesy and typical of an answer as it is, like, yeah, I like being able to, like, pull up on people like my homegirl Ivy, for instance, somebody that I've been friends with for so long that we literally only get to see each other on holidays, it seems like when I'm back home and, like, when she's back home, like, type of things. Like, seeing some of my friends in Peachtree City, like, that's always fun, but it's, like, my favorite part about Thanksgiving and Christmas is, like, is just seeing the whole full offer household, because like we don't get moments like that all the time, and I know we are getting a little bit older now, so those moments come even more few and far in between. But like when we have everybody there, like we have our cousins sometimes, like that shit like be annoying the hell out of me sometimes. I know we all annoy each other sometimes, but like the amount of love that we have for one another, and the fact that those are the only people on this planet I would really die for, like being in the same household as everybody and getting all the love and like family camaraderie, like that shit, like that's how I know I'm getting soft the older I get, bro. Like moments like that always almost bring me to tears every time. Like,
every time.
Nigga be so ready to cry. Like I'm like, bro, I love my family. My niggas all here.
I be up late nights, bro. Just thinking, damn, I love my family. And it's crazy because
like I miss y'all.
We'll be talking shit. This is like the shit talk too, because it's just your family.
Crazy,
so
bro. Niggas ready to get on your nerves, bro.
I'll be on it's funny because you were talking about it the other day. I was just on a FaceTime call with you, trying to talk about some Offspace shit, and all of a sudden I'm talking to you just like chopping up about the day for a second. I'm like,
Mom called me a habitual student.
Yeah, bro, you are. You're in college for a lifetime, bro. It's just like
niggas just love to roast. I'm like, okay,
bro, I'm over here talking about I'm not in the best mood. Some people been pissing me off. No, my sister's right there. She knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Bro, the shade in our family is the funniest type of shade because we all got at least that strain of petty from mom. Because mom just be in the crib just talking crazy about you and just be on the phone with somebody or just talking to the other person in the room knowing damn well you're right behind
She's
her.
like, I'm having a good day, but this bitch nigga keeps calling me. It's like, what? Without profanity, because my mom's not
my
that
mom
kind of
won't
person.
cuss.
But she'll still get at you, for real.
Oh, she'll give you the words in Igbo that feel worse sometimes.
She'll give you the Igbo profanity.
Yeah, she'll be like, Ekwensu. I'll be like, me?
What I do to you?
What I do? Like, damn, all right. But love her more than anything on this planet. Don't get it twisted.
It's just kind of fucked up, though, because you got Thanksgiving. I'm leaving out Halloween because Halloween's not a part of the holidays. I don't care what anyone says. What does Halloween really do besides give niggas candy? Like, is that really that good? I'm a grown up now. I'm not going trick or treating.
You feel me?
All the Halloween is now is just a party with friends, and then it's not the holidays. The holidays kicks off November 1st. So November 1st comes around to December, and then all of a sudden New Year's is like the final shebang. But afterwards, like, it's just sad. Like, all that holiday cheer just gone for like 300 more days.
Exactly. I mean, to be fair, the holidays for me extend until February because my birthday is January 8th and my birthday really goes from January 1st to the end of January. So, I mean, like, just depends on how y'all want to look at it. Sometimes I'll give up the last couple of days of January. I'll let it have a nice little grace period to turn.
Suga's the only person that has a birthday month, but when your birthday comes around, we'll give you an IOU. Only person I know, oh my God, he'll be like, bro, I forgot to get a gift, bro.
Bro, oh my God. I remember y'all's niggas.
But when we hang out, bro, I'll buy you something. It's like, I bet.
Do I not, though?
6 months later.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? All I want for Christmas is January 8th to roll by, baby. I'm ready for danger season, you feel me?
I'm not gonna lie, I feel sorry for all of y'all that have birthdays near the holidays, because that's such a shitty time. Because to be honest, most people are gonna lump your shit in with others, and they're not gonna give you like gifts and like the love separately. But
when mom and dad used to like be, because our whole lives we've always been like gamers, like whatever type shit. So whenever I used to get the game console Christmas, even though like my siblings would get the game console Christmas too, like I'd look over and it'd come January, they'd be like, nigga, your birthday was a week later, bro. You thought you was getting something else? And my dad would be looking at me with like the fucking Drewski look, like, you thought you was getting something else. I'm like, nigga, I don't matter. I thought all birthdays matter.
My birthday. But it was the trade-off because you guys.
Was that a brick?
It was a dink. But it was the trade-off because those were the birthdays that you got to enjoy. Like, you're still like in school, right? Mm-hmm. So you go back to school. It's like, fuck this, but whatever. You have like your little class. You got to bring in cupcakes or some shit for the class. Have like little this. All your friends invited for like birthday parties and stuff. It's the middle of the thing. My birthday's in the dead ass of summer. Everyone's like, as a kid, that's the hardest shit to get people like back together for. Like, whatever. It's just not in the midst of it. You don't get to enjoy, like, flaunting your birthday type shit.
Anybody that's listening to this, though, and is a white person and feels any form of white guilt, just know that you can go ahead. You know how Catholics like to, if you do anything bad, you go to confessional and that nigga say do, like, 8 Hail Marys. So instead of doing 8 Hail Marys for all of your sins this year, just go to Cash App, open it up, type in a number or amount, and then send it to $CJustin94, and you'll be able to trade in all of your white guilt for white pleasure once you've paid me.
I approve.
Hey.
Yeah, so anyway. I can get behind it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on that, though. Enjoy the time.
That's all I have for holidays. We have special plans, hopefully, for Christmas for the pod, but we'll get to that when we get to that. That being said, it's time for... Bro, the funniest thing, though, to me, like, before we get to it, I love the niggas that just skip Thanksgiving. Like, because I know so many people that the second Halloween was over, they had the Christmas tree up and all the decorations.
That's the weirdest shit to me that, like, Halloween or Christmas are for them. But I digress.
But anyways, like, for the rest of the pod, we basically have, like, sports news. The biggest thing that happened in sports this week had to be the Lamelo Ball draft, just because the way that the sports world is handling it. He went number 3, so him and Lonzo are the first brothers in history to go as lottery picks. But not even just that. LaMelo went number 3 in kind of the most GOAT fashion that you can go number 3.
Mm-hmm.
He went number 3 because Michael Jordan said, I want that guy. Like, specifically told his front office, we have to have him. So knowing that someone like Michael Jordan wants you, he probably senses some sort of dog in you. Or as a businessman, we have to be real about this possibility of just sensing the business possibilities and knowing you are the most, at least from a social media and like marketing standpoint, coveted draft pick. But knowing he has that deal with Puma and seeing some of the stuff that we've seen, are you fearful of LaMelo on a team like Charlotte, or do you think it could be his perfect place?
I don't think him on any team is going to be a bad fit besides one he doesn't get playing time on.
So would it be better because he's going to be straight as a starter?
LaMelo is going to have the time of his life playing for Charlotte. All things considered, obviously,
they sent him a Rolls truck.
You would love for that man to be playing for a team like Miami. You would love for him to be playing for like a big market with a space for him to really have good playing time. However, that's not the case. But this man was a professional before. He's made for the moment. He played in Lithuania. You know what I'm talking about? He's played in Australia. He can be in places he doesn't necessarily want to be and still be professional. But now he's in the U.S. doing it. Even if it is Charlotte, Charlotte still has some things here and there, and it's a stone throw away from Atlanta. Come on.
I know I'm going to see that nigga at Magic City
at some point.
Come on now.
So I'm excited for it. I know this is the perfect place, too, especially for, like, being able to just make his name, like, and pull a Dame in for the Trailblazers, but I think with a higher potential because like we just seen like what LaMelo's capable of. So
and here's another question for you. I agree with you. Like a player like LaMelo Ball is gonna need a market where he can instantly make an influence. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not one of those players that you need to kind of play behind like the veteran for the first half of the season or limit minutes or this is that. He's a player that you immediately need to start giving minutes and like big time minutes. Going to a team like Charlotte, it's his team now. Yeah. So he's gonna be the starter. He's gonna be the franchise guy. Did you see? Like so, my main question would be since most of the time when we look at NBA players, right? We see breakouts in like year 3, year 4, and that's fine. But we don't see you hit your NBA prime for a lot of players until they're about 25, 26 years old, right? And so saying that, this nigga 19. By the time he's done with his rookie contract, he's going to be, what, 23, 24? He's still going to be able to go get the max, super max there if he stays, or the max anywhere else if he performs. You know what I'm saying?
No, he'll be on max like, if he stays, like, but super max after. Because you have to go through the max first.
Do you think that that'll be actually a better setup for a bigger market if he ends up going to a bigger market by starting the grind process here and then going somewhere else if he ends up
100% because it goes back to being able to make the name for yourself, right? And so again, if he played for like a
because we saw like Lonzo starting on like a Lakers, that was different.
The best thing I can think of if LaMelo started for Lakers, that'd be a problem because he's not going to be able to handle the ball as much with knowing that you have a Braun as well as like veteran point guards in that he's going to want on the ball like when he's not, and you're going to have to kind of just become that corner three like a little shit, which is not going to be what he needs. That's so it's going to be nice seeing him here again because it's going to be similar to like a Luka, right? I'm not saying in how he's coming out and like he might be an MVP. What's looking like on his second season like a Luka was in the talks about. No, I don't know if that's going to be the case. Only time can tell for some shit like that. But it's the fact that he's played professionally for 2 years now. So he's already gotten kind of in the ropes of what it means to do this shit. Even though obviously the NBA is the highest level, he's already got the mentality for it and the skills to match. So I think he's going to have a solid time. Probably he's going to win Rookie of the Year. Just off of what I think. I think every other rookie has to make an adjustment to being in the NBA. He's going to come out the gate swinging. That's going to give him an early lead in that race.
And plus, like you said, like playing on a small market team and being the immediate starter, immediately getting some time, he's going to have an easier bid for Rookie of the Year. Kind of like and this isn't to take away the dog in these players, by no means, but like a Ja Morant was on the Grizzlies as a starter. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were on another team splitting the ball with like a Braun and like other people, it's going to be hard to put up your 20 points a game as a rookie, which is about the standard for the person that wins Rookie of the Year, right? So it's dope to see LaMelo get that chance. I have another question for you, which is going to be actually brought up to the sadness. We want to start with prayers for this player because we've seen the journey, we've seen what they've gone through, and this shit breaks my heart because he's one of my favorite players in the NBA, one of the players I talk about the most in the Klay Thompson, because he definitely ruptured his Achilles in, I think it was like full fives runs, like with the Golden State Warriors. He was so excited to get back. He just missed the season. This is a player that before then was the I think the number one player in the NBA for like not missed games. You know what I'm saying? Like really, like he was ready to go every single game, play as much as he can. He loves hooping. You could see from his off-court personality, this nigga still have a flip phone. It's 2020. You know what I'm saying? He don't care about social media. He don't care about none of that. He literally just wants to hoop. And that being taken away from him is dangerous. So we've seen a lot of the moves the Warriors have made, like the Kelly Oubre signing and like drafting Wiseman. Do you think that Wiseman being the number 2 pick and going to a Golden State, right? Do you think that he's going to have a lot to live up to now that this was supposed to be the season that they come back into the playoffs and start without a Klay Thompson?
Is he going to have a lot to live up to? Yes and no. Initially, you would think yes because this is Golden State's chance to insert themselves back in the conversation to being the best team in the league. Splash Brothers, obviously, just being some of the most formidable offensive threats.
In the history of the NBA.
History of the NBA. But I think, especially with Klay out for the whole season, the expectations have considerably dropped for Golden State. No matter how good Steph is, no matter how solid of a piece Draymond is, no matter how good of a team they can put around them, like the expectations have dropped, especially when you see super teams like the Lakers, the Nets, like forming all around, the Bucks getting into their own. When you see all these teams kind of coming together, and the Nuggets, you don't necessarily have the same expectations for Golden State anymore. So it's just going to be nice for him probably to have that pressure relieved, but at the same time seeing if they could still create with that, knowing that when Klay comes back they'll be in a better situation. The only thing is,
I'm happy Klay got paid. I'm happy they did right by my man.
I mean,
of course they had to.
They had to. I'm sure he has certain money guaranteed in his contract. It's just sad, like, because one thing I want to highlight again, when you're a professional, I can't even imagine when your whole job, not even if it wasn't your job, the thing you like to do every day, all day, much the most in life, and like what you want to do just for as long as you can, when you have that taken away from you for a year, that mental strain of going through an injury and trying to rehab it and get back to like the best physical condition, because they're peak athletes too. It's getting back to that's different than getting back to being a minor athlete. Getting back to that level, just to immediately re-injure it for another year, the shit he's got to be going through in his head has to be fucking crazy right now, and I can only imagine. So I really am like, first and foremost, just like prayers for Klay Thompson, because I know that's got to be awful to go through.
And so like looking at their five right now is looking like Wiggins, Wiseman, Oubre, Draymond, and Steph, which is a formidable 5, but I don't know if that's
formidable for a 4th seed.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that's still looking like a 4th or 5th seed 5, not like the competing for 1st or 2nd like they thought that they were going to have a chance to do. Speaking of teams in the West, though, and this is great news for somebody like you, of course, like we saw the Chris Paul trade. And so now he's going to be playing on the Suns. I believe they picked up another huge piece, which I feel sorry for not mentioning right now. But with the 8-0 run that they went on in the bubble, and seeing like the potential that team has, seeing what we've seen Chris Paul do in creation, and now he has an athletic big again, akin to the Blake Griffin. Not necessarily the same, but you saw what it came to, like all the dunks, the Lob City, and all that. Do you think Phoenix is about to make a real big stand this year?
I think Phoenix, they're making the playoffs. But that's just a given.
Chris Paul, Devin Booker on any team, they're going to the playoffs.
I don't
just
feel
those
like,
two, let alone the other pieces they have.
Exactly. Are they going to be? I think they can surprise people. I think it's a little too early to say, because again, like Chris Paul is slowly getting older, even though he showed every reason to believe that he's again father time too, just like LeBron. Like they got control over this shit. It still has to be taken into consideration how long and many minutes he can play, and D-Book's gonna definitely be like on the ball and taking that shit up court and like trying to facilitate when Chris Paul's not in, unless they get some guards that are reliably doing it. Besides, I don't know if they have, besides like maybe Johnson or some shit. I think he got even swap. But
are you excited for Atlanta a little bit?
Atlanta's got good looks, bro.
Shouts out to Okongwu though, because we got to shout out to our African brother there, Nigerian king. Like going straight from, they're gonna do. They may, cause these niggas at Sandy Creek love to talk about needing a 30 for 30 bum ass school, but like that fucking Chino Hills team needs a 30 for 30.
No, that Chino Hills,
because that's a team that for sure needs
has 3 players that went top 10 in the NBA. What? I think looking back now, everyone who played against them in like their state championship runs has to not feel so bad anymore that they didn't win, because
3 went top 10.
All of them are gone. All of them are out of here.
You know what I'm saying? Like even if we talk about a Jello that's a G League player, like we still have all of these players are pros. You know what I'm saying? And this was the starting five that y'all had to play against in a national championship on a high school level. You can't feel that bad
Bro, when
anymore.
you see LaMelo dropping 90-something on you, you start to understand why. You know, certain things are just a problem. But it's nice to see the Hawks getting so many good pieces. Chris Dunn, like a Congo.
I'm happy to see Rondo come to the Hawks as well, because that's going to be a great piece as like a veteran player, and you know the coach mentality he has to get Trey even better.
I think it's going to be.
Do you think they make playoffs now though?
Look, fuck if they.
Rondo only likes winning.
First off, it's not. It's the East. They're going to make the playoffs, but it's fuck if they make the playoffs. That's not the important part. The important part is the fact that living in the city of Atlanta, knowing that the Hawks are so butt cheeks. Offense. For so many years prior to now,
they had to give those tickets away.
Even in their first seed years, I'm still talking about them being butt cheeks. I'm gonna be honest. Seeing that they're decent now makes me excited to go to Hawks games again. The last Hawks game I went to was actually right before quarantine started.
Free.
And it wasn't free.
Okay.
I paid tickets. I paid money. I paid money to see them play the Grizzlies and get blown out by like 30 something. And they were just looking awful. It was terrible.
You think Cam Reddish about to surprise niggas?
No, but I would love if he did.
Bro, he said no so quickly.
I stopped me talking shit on Cam. Cam's case is one of the most saddening things I've ever heard.
Niggas said no so fast. I'm sorry, bro. We got.
You know how many people from his class talked about him probably being the most standout like person for like their class, and how they think he's gonna end up being the best.
Yeah.
Or like surprisingly being like competing for the best with Zion. Bro,
they thought that he was really going to be competing. That shit is crazy. But then another thing, just since we were talking about Georgia for a second, how do you feel about the Anthony Edwards #1 pick to the team?
All them Georgia boys, bro. I've been trying to tell people for a minute. I was having this conversation with Chuka, and he was trying to tell me, bro, them niggas from the New York, bro, niggas from the DMV, and I get it, basketball mecca, bro. And to be honest, we all seen it, we all believe it, we all love this sport, we get it. Up in the north, they've been doing this for a minute, but us Georgia boys got it right now. Georgia has given so much top talent to the NBA, especially in this last draft. I can't say how many names I saw getting drafted out of different cities around.
That you've been to, that you've seen. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe I'm saying didn't play there, but like you can see like their hometowns. You see the Mariettas. You know what I'm saying? You see like these different things.
I fuck with it. But then
Anthony Edwards is going to be a dog.
I think he's going to be a super dog. Especially like he's playing in a system with like a Cat and with a D-Lo. And so I think they're going to become a formidable team. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if they're going to go on the runs like a crazy run. But I know that they're definitely going to do something. And really worst case scenario, this nigga going to get paid and then drop his mixtape with Lil Baby and Kodak anyway. So Anthony Edwards is either going to be a huge rapper or a huge NBA
I hope
player.
he's good at rapping because
this nigga said
good expectations for himself.
This nigga said I only do this because I'm good at it, bro. I want to rap.
You know, in any other case, this man wishes he could have been a football player or a rapper.
For
but
sure.
you know,
like,
the basketball was a good third option, I guess.
He's like, fuck, dude. Like the 3 does go in every time. Of course, I have to play this one.
I got a 40-something inch bird, bro.
Fuck, dude. Like he's pissed at all his basketball talent. This nigga just want to be in the studio.
I went #1 in the NBA draft.
He's like, shit. They have expectations,
bro. I wish I could trade places.
Right here.
Nah, but that's all love to that man. I'm happy to see him thrive, and hopefully he keeps it going for the Timberwolves.
I don't have much else to say other than I want to give another prayers out to a player that we all love in Joe Burrow because he's out for the rest of the season. That nigga a dog, though. I've never seen somebody as fearless that early in the quarterback position as Joe Burrow because, like, we have to think about the fact. We have to think about the facts, right? And I'm sorry that I'm forgetting this man's name because he was the #2 pick and he is an outstanding player. That nigga a dog from Ohio. Like from the Ohio State. Sorry, I know these niggas get pissed off when you just call them Ohio, but like that motherfucker trucked Joe because Joe said fuck it and said I'm gonna run into the storm. This nigga looked like Leonidas running into the 300. You know what I'm saying? Like a part of the 300 running into the Battle of Thermopylae. Like it looked like he said fuck it. I'm gonna either take my niggas with me or we out. Tried to run that ball in, got killed. Instant leg injury, had to be carted off. He's out for the rest of the season, which he's going to rehab. He's going to be back. Joe has a dog mentality. This nigga instantly said that that's not going to be enough to stop me. Y'all going to see me next year, which I love seeing the dog mentality in him. But I love to see the fact that player, which once again apologize messing up his name, but coming right up to him and checking on him to make sure he's okay, because it's bigger than football, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is the game they play, this is what they lace up for, and this is what they, you know what I'm saying, like, get paid about. But they realize, like, this is somebody else's career, like, this is real life. And I'm happy that he came and immediately checked on him, immediately. Like, that shows character, so I wanted to give a shout out.
For sure. I mean, definitely, you're not going to ever pull your hits, like, you go out there trying to kill people. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a dog world, especially in a physical sport like that. It's like fighting, you know what I'm saying? No one wants to kill, like, no one, at the end of the day, if you win a fight, hopes that the person that they're fighting ends up dead. But if that's what happens, like, you know, that's what happens. But they're going to go check on that other person for sure. Especially if they knock that person out.
And so definitely prayers for Joe Burrow. And I know he's going to come back 10 times better. This nigga is already looking like a dog, and it's his first season in the NFL on a bad team. Like a team that you couldn't pay to have a good O-line. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just trying to figure out anything every single game, and he's been trying. But other than that, I know you have a packed-ass day, so I don't really have shit else. Do you have shit else?
The only thing I have is for these people to go fucking subscribe and follow us on
like, comment, and subscribe.
But besides that, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the podcast up until now. We're gonna keep it coming to y'all every week like we have been. So stay tuned for the next one.
Yes, Sirski. My name is Chuka.
My name is Ezigo.
And this is the Offspace. Yes, Sirski.
Yes, sir.